Well, hello there, guys. Gripimax is here, coming at you with a first look of Barbarossa Decisive Campaigns. It's a new game by Slytherin. It looks very interesting, and I want to take a look and see what's up. So I actually have turned the music off of the game. You guys are not going to be hearing the music, but it's got a pretty basic, decent soundtrack. Just kind of what you'd expect from a Panzer General, Panzer Corps type game. And actually, this game is, I would say, way more advanced than those. I'm not sure if it's more advanced than Gary Grigsby's War in the East, but we're about to take a look and see what we have here. So one thing I like is they've sort of put in a diary system with the soldiers, where if you can actually keep certain soldiers alive, their war diary will continue, and I think that's kind of cool. Now, this is obviously all of the different options to select here. I'm just selecting everything normal right now, and I'm actually playing as Germany. Now, one of the cool things about this game is that you actually have to impress Hitler as well as the other generals if you're playing as the Germans, or if you're playing as the Russians, you have to impress the Russian generals or face going to the Gulag. And so it's very interesting to try to level out and figure out which general you want to support most. I don't usually get along with the general manning the trains for whatever reason. We're going to go ahead and press the key. I'm not going to go through this. This is, of course, all the tutorials you can get, which is a tremendous amount of tutorials, and really gives you kind of an idea of what the game has. And really is, this is a complex game, I will say, but it's simple to learn these tutorials. They're very quick. They're done by an excellent voice actor, and he essentially just gets through them very, very quickly. So once you understand this, you can start the game as any faction. So really quickly here, I'll just show you guys the order of battle. This is all of the units I have, if you want to review all of your units. And over here, we can review all of the messages. And we can actually make decisions that is going to, they're going to determine just how well we were received in the game. So one of them is the Fuhrer has requested our presence in Berlin in order to agree upon strategy for Operation Barbarossa. So of course I'm going to accept that. And I can support his plans, or I can go Moscow or bust, or I can demand military independence. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to support Hitler's plans. And as you can see, the Fuhrer is mightily pleased that you have recognized the wisdom of his approach, and he promised to give you whatever it supports you require. Now, this is actually going to help you in the future of the game. We're also going to take a look here. This is Russian rail groups, and this might be the reason for why my rail general didn't like me. So I'm going to go ahead and we could make conversions of these rail lines. This decision is beneath me. Yes, I get no PP for it, but I think I'm going to show him, don't ever come to me with such a silly question again. Motorized Eisenstruppe. So we can equip the construction batteries, I guess, with enough truck counts to speed up their work. Only with this can we hope to keep pace with the troops. You know what? I will fully motorize them. Why the hell not? And I think this is going to, of course, hopefully help us. Now we're going to just quickly end the turn here because we want to get to the actual battle. We've delegated 5 decisions, and of course we could have delegated more, but I think that's all we needed to do before we actually start fighting. And now we're going to begin, of course, our conquest of Russia. Okay, guys, so one thing we can look at right away is General Oberst's diary. This is really cool, actually. And this is actually, if you keep this guy alive, which you can lose him, then he'll actually continue this diary. So here we go. Priority 1 is Leningrad in the north. Well, we want to destroy the army headquarters. And priority 3, Rostov in the south, and Moscow in the center. So we already know essentially what we have to do here. And this is the war diary of Soldier Private Hugo Lesche of the 291st Infantry Division, marked with the red H. So if we keep this guy alive, we won't let Hugo's mother down and he'll survive the war, which I think is kind of a cool bit. So we've done a lot of that. I want to get out of this area because we've actually done a lot of just explanation, and now I just want to start attacking. We've got a few SS units here that look pretty great, and just like Gary Grigsby's War in the East, you've got to understand that in this game you've got a general and you've got armies underneath him. So you've got to make sure to keep this general in the same area as these armies when you're moving forward. We're going to try to go ahead and carry out our first attack. I've actually got a Totenkopf division here, who I think is going to be especially vicious. And we're actually going to try... First, we're going to go ahead and just steamroll to Kaunas with these tanks, because we can. Steamroll to Kaunas with these tanks once again. Steamroll over here, and just basically surround these guys. And once we want to actually attack, we select the unit. and we go here. We can either list the attackers or we can just attack them with all our units. And I think it's probably a good idea with this first line of Russian tanks to attack them. So let's go ahead. Fire! And the attacker won, which would be us. As you can see, some of their power is decreased, and they are retreating. So they're actually pulling back off the line, and what I want to do is try to trap these guys. Obviously, our general wants us to get over here to the HQ. Now, we've also got some cards here, and this is very, very important. And this is for a blitzkrieg. These are cards, that we get through our PP, and we can go ahead. For instance, I'm going to try to use this on the general over here, but I can't play card on him. Could I play card on him? Maybe not. Maybe I don't have enough PP and I have to grab some. But this is one of the cool things you could do is basically order your army to adopt a blitzkrieg posture and start attacking in this way. We could also go for the Russian oil fields, but I don't want to do that right now. I'm actually looking for my generals. Oh, my generals. There they are. So if you look down here, guys, you can see the relationship you have with your generals. And it's affected by the decisions you make. It's affected by the land you take, etc. That rhymed, didn't it? The decisions you make, or the land you take. Oh, bad, Agrippa, bad. So here we go, guys. We're going to try to cut this guy off once again. I'm going to attack him again. Why the hell not? I think if we are able to, and we've got a lot of infantry units here attacking tanks, I hope this goes well. But I think that just because we're going to surprise them, we'll probably force them to retreat. And indeed, that's exactly what's happened. So we'll go ahead. We'll say okay. We'll take our Totenkopf division. And I actually want to send these guys in too, but I don't want to get our general unit in there. Now our general's kind of on the line with the men. So I might have to list and separate these guys so that the general doesn't attack too. But I probably won't do that here. Let's go ahead. We will select attack. We're going to select all of our units. We're just going to go heavy on these guys, and we're going to try to wipe them out. One massive attack. As you can see, I think we actually did wipe out this particular army, and if you guys want detail, you can always hit the detail here and actually see the rounds and take a look at the individual list of attackers, defenders, what happened in each round, what was lost, what was destroyed, etc. So all this stuff can be done during the game, which is pretty awesome. And you can always see over here, you can also see how the enemy is pulling back. You can see that they've retreated from this area, and eventually our goal is to trap them, take Vilnius, take Jakobstadt. We've got a lot to take. In fact, if we go down here, you can see that this game is massive. We've even got a Romanian front over here, and really, it's really huge. As the game continues, obviously you get new units, this sort of thing. Right now I want to go ahead and just hit one of their cavalry units. I just want to see what happens if I attack it. So I'm going to try to hit him with all, and I'm actually going to remove some of these guys from the attacking units. So let me say none, and let me just list a few. And I'm just going to attack him with, let's say one unit. Just send one unit against him. This might not even work, but we'll see what happens. And actually, he did retreat. I think, once again, the Wehrmacht is superior in this aspect. We will keep attacking. There's a massive amount of units here, so I actually would rather attack with more than one unit. I'm going to go ahead and move this guy up. And I'm going to go ahead and see what we can do here to the Brest garrison. For those of you that don't know about Fortress Brest, you should watch that. It's a great film. And this is definitely the Brest garrison. This is going to be a tough nut to crack. And I don't think we're going to be able to break it this turn. Battle's still ongoing. Look at that. 14 turns, finally out of AP. And we did manage to crack the fortress a little bit, but we haven't broken through. So that's just kind of a basic look at the game, guys. Over here, of course, we've got some more decisions to make. And Walter Funk in Berlin wants us to secure a supply of oil. And I think it's a good idea to go ahead and secure the oil field. So let's request priority refining capacity. And this is just one of the many ways to improve your relationships with some of the generals. Obviously, some of the generals are not going to like you, depending on what you do. And even against the Fuhrer himself, you can kind of have a very, very poor relationship with him. It'd still be a successful general, although I don't recommend that. But I hope this gives you guys a good idea of what the game contains. This is just, of course, the beginning of the campaign. There's so much more left to go here, and if I could show you more, I mean, I would. It would really take a lot of time to show you everything available, but I'm very happy with this. If this is something that you guys want to see a campaign of, please let me know in the comments down below, and we will definitely do a campaign of this game. But much like Gary Grigsby's War in the East, this is the kind of game that you might not be completing in one day. You might take a few days to complete this because it really requires a lot of thinking. And as far as I know right now, there's one large campaign, no real scenarios that I can see, although I'm sure that those will be added very, very soon. So anyway, guys, I hope this was a decent first look. I hope you guys will take a look at the game, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.